everybody, how's it going? What's up? Welcome to today's live. We would call these Web Wednesday live. Normally we'd call that, but today we're just calling it Brad Hussey live, and we're going to be coding a pricing page with Bootstrap 4. Who's ready? Let's hear it. Everybody here on Crowdcast, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all the places. Let me hear it. Who's ready to do this? I'm excited. Hey, everybody. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Brad Hussey. I'm from codecollege.ca, and I teach web designers, web developers, and freelancers from all over the world to improve their craft, to become better at their craft so that they can ultimately do something amazing with it, whether that's get a job or even better, start their own freelance business and carve their own path so that they can achieve the ultimate freedom that they deserve. So that's you guys, and I am so excited to be a part of your Wednesday and to hopefully impart some awesome skills on you by joining you and coding with you live. We're going to be hanging out live and we're going to be coding. So now that we've got everybody rolling in, I'm so excited for this. We have like 500 people registered, and that number keeps going up and up and up, and every single one of you matters. So I'm gonna shout all of you guys out. Well, maybe not all of you. That's a lot of people you'd be sitting here listening to me rolling off names. But feel free to say hi. I'm gonna say hi to everyone here that I can. Let me know where you're from. You know, show some pride and support for your city, your town, your state, your country, whatever. We're from all over the world here. This is a global audience, so I'm pumped. Hey, Dean, how's it going? We got Rob, Jameson, Paul. Nice to see you there, Paul. Diana. We got Sandeep. We've got people. Let's see, Allison over there on YouTube. How's it going? Manchester, UK. We got Army. We've got Mohammed. Pedro from New York City. What's up, everybody? Stephen from Reno, Nevada. We got Khalid from Dublin, Ireland. We got Peterborough, UK. Colorado, the Rockies. Amazing. Hey, Aaron, how's it going? Mohammed from Seattle. Charles, Wisconsin. You guys are from everywhere. I'm from southern Alberta, Canada. I'm actually from northern Canada, way up in the subarctic, but I decided to go as close to the border as possible where it's warmer. So I'm down in the south. And once again, my name is Brad Hussey. I'm excited to serve you and to code live with you today. As you can see here on my fancy little banner below me, this lower third, I want you guys to get started by downloading the course files. This reminds me of those Disney sing-alongs. Download the course files, bradhussey.ca, Bootstrap 4 pricing. So go there and download those course files while we're getting ready to fire up our code editors. As you can see here, my name, Brad Hussey. Today we're going to be coding a pricing page with Bootstrap 4. And right over here, under my microphone, you can at any point during this live stream here, you can get a free month at Code College. We have a brand new 2.0 version of the membership, and we've got an amazing amount of stuff going on there. The membership is being dramatically improved, and it's insane. You can get access to all of my courses for free. That first month is yours. So at any point you want to try out that free month, codecollege.ca, it's yours for the taking. Once again, everybody, welcome. I'm excited. So go ahead, download those course files, fire up your code editor, and a couple little notes here. If you have any tech issues whatsoever, refresh. Whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on YouTube, or whether you are on Crowdcast, hit refresh. You shouldn't lose your spot. Plus, there will be a replay. So if you can't stick around, lame, stick around. But if you can't, it's okay. There'll be a replay, and we will have it available in all the places that you are currently watching it. If you're on Crowdcast, right below my head here, right below that lower third, you're going to see a few things. Ask a question. So if you have questions, put them in there, and I'll do my best to do a live Q&A and answer some of your fun and exciting questions. Keep them fun and exciting, or, challenging. We have a polls section, and I want to see who's here. What's your deal? What's your craft? And I could see that you guys are rolling in and giving me that data right now. What's your craft? 66% of you are web developers, 20% are web designers, a mixed bag of others. Your level of experience in your craft. I want to know I want to know some, if you're a beginner, you have some experience, or you're advanced. 50% of you have some experience in your craft. Now I'm seeing in the comments there, Cindy, Yulia, Git, you're having some database errors because you're breaking my website. So what's going to happen is I'm going to have Alea. Alea should be here. Say hi, Alea, if you're here. She's going to shoot out that link, and she's going to put it there so that you can download it. And we'll make that happen right away. That's very important that you get those course files. So I want to make sure you get that. Yes. Here, you know what? I'm going to help you out too right now. I'm going to race Alea. And I have a 20-second head start because this live broadcast is a little bit of a delay. So if she can beat me, then she's fast. Okay. So I'm going to pull that up right now. I'm going to give you that direct link because right now you're breaking my website. Good problems to have. Good problems to have. I'm going to get you those course files. And I'm going to directly post them in the chat box. All right, so here we go. I'm going to share that link with you right here. And Alea, feel free to post it everywhere as well. There's the direct link right there if you're on Crowdcast. If you're on YouTube, YouTube doesn't let me post links, which is kind of lame. There we go. I posted it. You just have to copy and paste it, YouTubers. And Facebookers, there's the link right there for the course files. Keep downloading the course files throughout the live stream. It's just there's a lot of requests. We're getting lots of people requesting my site. So, okay, there we go. I posted the link there. Now back to the fun part. Okay, what's your number one reason for pursuing your craft? Just one of the questions I asked in the polls, and most of you said to get clients. That's what I like to see. 42.5% of you, in fact, said you want to get clients. 35% of you want to get a job. 22% are doing this for fun. All valid, legitimate reasons. But I like seeing that most of you are looking to get clients, and that's what I'm passionate about. So I'm teaching you this today, not just for fun or not just to help you have a leg up on, getting a job. What I'm most passionate about and where I can serve you best is getting you clients. And that's what excites me. That's what gets me up every day. And at Code College, we have all those courses, including what we're going to be doing today to improve your craft so that you can get clients and take back your time and win some freedom, or get a better job, or just have fun. So with that said, everybody, let's do this. Who's ready? Who's ready to jump in? Make sure you got that code editor up. And we're going to get started here in just a few seconds. So let me know if you're ready to go. Throw it up if you're on Facebook, throw those likes across. If you're on YouTube, shout out in the comments section. And Crowdcast, let me know. Looks like everybody is pumped and ready to go. I'm jived, and let's get started, my friends. Thanks, Alea, for posting that direct link. Here we go. Busting open my code editor right here. And we're going to get started in 3, 2, 1, boom. Okay, so let's build ourselves a pricing page. Now, go to Bootstrap, getbootstrap.com. There's an example here. We're basically going to go and use this as our guideline. There's a number of things that we're going to change in the markup, in the HTML, in the classes, because I think this one is actually built off of 4.0, and there were a few classes I noticed in there that were actually not working, that might be specific to 4.1.1. But anyway, we're going to be utilizing this pricing example because it's quite nice, but we're going to change it up a little bit. So we're going to go to getbootstrap.com. Let's go to the main page here. And to really quickly install Bootstrap, there's a number of ways. There's not a million ways, but there's a handful of different ways depending on your workflow. You can install with package managers like Composer, Meteor, NPM, and things like that. You can install via Git using the terminal. But just for the sake of this workshop, we're just going to use the CDN. And right here on the home page, it's really convenient. you could just quite literally just copy and paste the CSS and the JS. And in Bootstrap 4, they utilize Popper.js and jQuery as well. So you have to include those. So jQuery first, Popper next, and then the Bootstrap JavaScript. So let's go ahead and first actually go back to our code editor. And what I've done is I've created a folder called Bootstrap for pricing, and we're going to create an index.html file. That's all we're going to create. That's what's interesting about Bootstrap is you could quite literally get something up and running really easily with just a single file. You don't need like a whole bunch of CSS files and JS files and stuff. For this specific page, we're just going to have an index page, an index.html page. So go ahead and create that. I'm using the code editor Atom, so I can just quite literally type HTML, hit tab, and that will fill out a basic structure for me. So go ahead and do that. I'm just going to say pricing page. And we're just going to create like a little kind of dummy or silly sort of web design pricing page. In my freelance business and in my suggestions to my freelancing students, I always suggest using packages to sell your services. So we're going to create a little pricing page, but it's going to be a little bit of like a mockery app. Cause you'll see what I mean. We're just going to make it a little bit silly. Okay. So, now we got to hook in the style sheet. So over here in the CDN, we're just going to copy this. Whoops. The CSS, we're going to paste it, in the head right here. And then below the closing body tag, we're going to paste the JavaScript like so. Clean that up a little bit. There we go. So now we should be ready to start utilizing Bootstrap. It's all there now. So first things first, what we're going to do is we're going to create a navigation bar. So just the nav tag. And we're going to have a number of classes. The way we're going to style this is exclusively with classes. Bootstrap already has these things built in, so we're going to just utilize a whole bunch of classes to make something look nice. So let's start with the markup first, because that's what it's all about. We're going to use an ahref, and we're just going to say about, copy that, paste it. We're going to do products, and then we're going to do pricing. We're also actually outside of this, we're going to have a div. We're going to wrap that whole thing with a div, like so. Tap that in. Want to look nice. And inside that div, we're going to have a level 5 heading. This is going to be our, we're going to say web designs are us. Okay, so over here in the browser, you can see, whoops. Typo in my silly spelling. Web designs are us. We can see things are looking a little bit basic. Let's actually add one more thing outside the nav. We're going to have another A tag, and it's going to say client portal. Okay, so we're going to turn this into a nice navigation bar really, really quickly and efficiently. So the cool thing about Bootstrap 4, the latest stable release, is that everything is utilizing flexbox. So there's some utility classes and classes that you can add for spacing and utilities and grids and utilizing flexbox by simply using classes. So to enable flexbox on an element, it's just d-flex for display flex, and then flex column. So that is enabling this div as a flex column. Now, if you don't know much about flexbox, go read up a little bit on CSS tricks. Google CSS tricks flexbox. Chris Coyier has a really nice article all about Flexbox, this kind of complete guide to what the heck is Flexbox. For those of you that know what Flexbox is, this is pretty exciting for you. So flex-md-row. So what this is making it a row, but it will break at the medium-sized screen. And you can change this to like LG or SM. It's all in the Bootstrap docs. And now we're going to say align items center. And that means that it's going to align the items in center when the row breaks at the medium screen. So we'll just show you an example here. So medium screen coming up. Let's see if it does it. There we go. It all centers. Perfect. Okay. The next thing we want to do, there's some spacing classes. So utility spacing. So if you want to do padding all around, they have some interesting classes that just start with P. P for padding. And if you want like padding top, it's PT, padding bottom is PB, left is PL, right is PR. If you want padding top and bottom, it's PY, and padding left and right is PX. Same thing with margin. Same thing, just with an M. So we're going to say padding, so P-4, which is there's 1 through 5. There's 1 through 5. So we're just going to do 4. And then MB for margin bottom 3. And this utilizes rems to space this out. So that's how we'll do it. Okay, let's see. We're going to do BG dark. So that's a style, a class that we can use just to make the background of the element dark. So far you can see over here, it kind of looks like that. Okay. Text white. So another class, styling class, you can make the text white. Okay. So we've done that with the div wrapping around the nav. Next we have the H5. This is the kind of logo. So we're going to do class again. MY for margin, top and bottom. So the Y axis. MY0 for no margin. The reason why I did that, let me just show you over in the browser. If I take it away, watch what happens. It's because at level 5 headings by default have margins, so we want to remove that margin. So margin top and bottom, 0. So we're removing it. All right, so MR for margin right, and then MD auto. So that's medium-sized screens, and then auto. What that means is the margin right up until when we make the screen small to a medium-sized screen, whatever Bootstrap determines that to be. You could look that up in the documentation. But margin right will be auto, meaning it's going to push the navigation all the way over because it's going to have an auto right margin. So you can check it out here. So it's push the nav all the way to the right, which is what we want. But then when we break down to a medium-sized screen, right around here, that margin right will go away, and we'll have everything centered. Beautiful. Okay, what's next here? So we got our H5 logo was looking good. So now we're going to jump into our nav class, and we're going to give that a class, and this is going to be margin. So MY for margin top and bottom 3. So that's going to make the nav these elements here. They're going to have a lot of the nav itself is going to have a margin top and bottom. So you're going to see over here it's going to be quite a thick looking navigation bar. If I made it MY1, it will be smaller. MY0, smaller still. MY5, very big. So let's do 3. Somewhere in the middle. Okay, MY3. Now we're going to say MY, so that's margin top and bottom, dash MD. So this style will be effective until the medium screen breakpoint, 0. So that means at the medium screen breakpoint, we're going to have that. Let's see. So at the medium screen breakpoint, we're going to, boom. So let's see what that looks like. Let me change it to 1, 2, 3. Doesn't seem to be doing anything. I wonder, MY, MD. I don't even know if it's necessary. Let me just take it away and see what happens. Okay, perhaps we don't need that. That's okay. The next class we're going to add is MR for margin right, MD for medium screens, and then 3. So that means the nav itself is going to have a margin right of 3, which is the third. If you look up in the documentation, perhaps we'll just have a look here. Let's see, spacing. So you can see here the notation of how spacing works. So 0 is 0, obviously. 1 is 0.25. So the spacer variable times 0.25. So if you're using Sass, you can change the spacer to whatever you want that base space to be. It could be 1 rem, 2 rem, whatever, however many pixels. But it's basically just going up by 0.25, 0.5, and then it's the default size, 1.5, and then 3. And then auto is like using margin auto. So that's how the spacing works when you're using this notation. Okay, so if you look over here, we have a little bit of space here, right there. So that's the base the base size that we're using. Okay, and let's see, where are we now? So we're going to do this here. Now we're going to jump down into these and just style these up a little bit. So we're going to say class, and it's going to be P-2, so padding 2. So this link will have a padding of the second level all the way around. That would be 0.5, larger than the base rem size. And then text white, you could just do that to make the text white. You can see over here it's looking nicer, and it's got a bigger target area because of that padding all around. And we're just going to do that same thing to all of them. So copy that and paste, and now those will look good. Now last but not least in the navigation here, we're going to do class, and for this client portal, it's going to be a button. So btn-outline-warning. And that should be enough to make that button look really nice. And what's cool about, there we go. What's cool about Bootstrap 4's new button styles is they're just a little bit cleaner and a nicer little effect. And when you click on them, the active, you can see there's like a slight border around, like a hover outline. It actually looks quite nice. Just a few little details like that I quite like in the newest version here. Okay, so where are we at? So we've coded up our navigation. Now let's give some space, and we're going to just code up that header. So it's going to be a div. Whoa, that's weird. Div. Why is it doing that? And this div is going to have a few classes. So now that we kind of know how the notation works a little bit, we're going to go P-5. That's the level 5 padding around this element. We're going to go P, well, you know what, before we do classes, let's put the content so we know what the heck we're styling. It's going to be a level 1 heading. It's going to say design packages, and a paragraph with the class of lead. This is the same. And we're just going to have some lorem ipsum in there. I'm just going to copy and paste just a few sentences of lorem ipsum. There we go. It should just look like this. By default, the typography is nice because it's Bootstrap. So now let's style this up to make it look nice. P-5, padding -5 all the way around. That's the, what was the notation again? 5 is the spacer times 3. So whatever the default size is times 3. Cool. And this is going to be PT for padding top medium 5. That means we're going to have a padding top of 5 all the way up until the medium size screen breakpoint. And then PB for padding bottom medium 4. So a little bit less padding on the bottom up until a medium screen. MX is margin left and right. So the x-axis. Auto. So this is going to be a margin auto. So that's how that works. And then text center. So just a lot of classes just to give us this. And we haven't had to do any CSS. Now, I like CSS. I'm not saying this is the best and my favorite way ever, but this is how Bootstrap 4 works. That's why we're doing this workshop, because it's Bootstrap 4. Not necessarily because it's my favorite way to do CSS. Okay, level 1 heading, class display-4. It's just going to change the display to different sizes. So if I do display 1, it's going to be very, very large. If I do display 5, it's going to be quite small. So let's do display 4. It's going to act as a level 4 heading in terms of style, but it is a level 1 heading in terms of semantics and markup. Okay, that's it for that one. Let's move down now to, we're going to add a container. So div with the class of container. This is the same as old school Bootstrap 4. Not necessarily old school, you know what I mean. Now we're going to add a card deck. So cards are semi-new elements in Bootstrap 4. Things like wells and things, old elements like that, wells specifically, are being changed over to cards. Cards are their kind of new catch-all styling element. So we're going to do a div. And we're going to give this the class of, well, again, let's put markup so we know what we're styling here. What else? What other markup here? Actually, you know what? We do need to do some classes. The way you do card decks, card deck is having multiple cards within a row. So that they work with flexbox and they're responsive. So we need to do card-deck, and I'll get into the utility classes after. We're just going to do the card classes here. Card deck, and then within that we need to have a class of card, and then within that we need to have a class of card-header. And then after that, as a sibling, we need to have card-body. Oh, that didn't work. I thought I had that. Never mind that. Let's try this again. Card-body. So this is the markup, and I believe that's it for, yes. So that is the markup for a card deck right here. With a card within it, you have a card header and a card body. So now, within the card header, we're going to give a level 4 heading and say, this one is called Spruce Up. That's the header. So these are packages I'm just creating on the fly. Now, the card body, we're going to have a level 1 heading. And I'm going to give a price, $129. We're going to say UL. And another UL. In here. LI. We're going to have 3 more of those. And we're going to say make it pop. Registered trademark. It's not. 2 times bigger logo. 1 revision. And no support. So this is package 1. We need a call to action button. So let's add a call to action button under the unordered list. So we're just going to say button, type button. We don't need a name on this because it's not actually functional. And this is just going to say gimme this. Okay. So now we've got our card here. So let me just give a little space in the card deck. So that's our first card right here. Now, let's make this whole thing look nicer. So right now it's pretty basic. It's got some basic styles there, but it's obviously not that great. So let's go and style that up. So we need to add, you guessed it, a whole bunch of classes. So up here in the card deck, we're going to go MB for margin bottom. The fifth one, which is going to be, I believe, again, I need to remember this, 3 times the base font size, or the base spacer size, as they call it. And then text center. So it's going to center it. Okay, and now that's for the whole card deck. Okay, so the card deck has a margin bottom of times 3, and then text center. Okay, so now let's get into the card itself. So this is going to have a margin bottom of 5, and it's going to be, margin bottom of 4, and then margin top of 4. Now that if they're both the same, let's just do M-4 as a shorthand. And then shadow-SM, that means a box shadow, a small box shadow. You can also do medium and large, which looks like this. But we're going to keep it with SM. Something subtle, like so. Okay, and now let's go down. I believe that's all for that. Card header is good. The level 4 heading, I want this to have, if you look here over in the browser, the spacing between the top and the bottom of this card header is off because this level 4 heading has a margin bottom. So we want to get rid of that by using the class of MB actually MY, margin top and bottom -0. And that will clean that up, and now it's even. So just a nice little way of using utility classes to tighten things up and quickly style up your sites. Now again, this isn't necessarily best practice for this is what you would call kind of styling in your markup. You want to keep your HTML and your styles separate. So there's a lot of purists out there who might say, and myself included, who would say, you can use semantic classes and then use CSS to style your pages. And as you've noticed, we've done no CSS whatsoever here. But again, I'm here to show you how Bootstrap 4 works. I still think it's really great. The developers who work on Bootstrap 4, they're brilliant and way more talented than I am. So I'm not taking a low blow there. I'm not trying to hate on them or anything like that. I'm just kind of saying the truth. This sort of stuff should be done in CSS, not necessarily in classes. But they've developed a really interesting system. It's a one way of coding things, and it's actually quite efficient if you want to create markup really quickly. Okay, let's get back to coding. Spruce up. Let's go down to the card body. That looks good. This needs to be with the class. The level 1 heading needs to be card-title. Okay, and then now the list, if you want to, you can actually do a lot of little classes here. So you can do list-unstyled. So we've unstyled the list. We're going to say MT for margin top. That's 3, so that's the base margin size. MB for MB4, so that's margin bottom 4. And remember 4, for you going off of the notation here, 4 equals the spacer times 1.5, and spacer is a Sass variable that outputs CSS, which is essentially whatever the base font size is. So yes, so that's just, if you're using Sass, then you can change that variable. You can also just, because we're using CDN, we're pulling in the Bootstrap CSS, we can't specifically change that spacer size. But I'm assuming MT4 is going off of, so like let's just go for example. What are we, UL? Let's just inspect this. So this size, so you can see here, yeah, so all it is MB4 is 1.5 rem. So it's going off of the root size. So spacing, you could check that out here. You can see how everything in here, it's a little bit messy. I won't show you that right now. But essentially all it is 1.5 rem. This is 1 rem. If you were to do it, MB5 is 3 rem. So that's just how that works. Rem is root M. It's going off of the root M size, and so it's just using some basic math. Okay, back to coding here. Where were we? Make it pop. This looks good. Okay, you know what? Down to the button. Just one more thing, and then we could just copy and paste this a couple times and almost wrap things up. So BTN large, this is the same, and then BTN block. Okay, and then this is a new class, BTN outline primary. You can also use success or warning or info, I believe. These are just kind of updated button classes. So it gives you style like this. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and copy this card and paste it as a sibling directly beside it. So that's going to give us 2, and they're all nicely spaced, just like that. And one more thing we're going to do, we're going to paste it again, and now we have 3. And you see what happens, like they're all lined up nicely, and they should be responsive by default. There we go, the breaks there. You can also change the breakpoints easily with classes. So let's go to our second card here. This one is going to be called, we're going to call this package Prettify. And let's see, let's make this one kind of like the more popular one. You know how there's like in packages you could choose the popular option? Let's do that. So this is going to be $1.99. Let's just change some of these. We're going to say the logo on this one is going to be 3 times bigger. You're going to have 2 revisions, and let's say phone support. So this package is a little bit better for a little bit more money. Again, this is all making a mockery of a really bad web design company. So don't take this as this is how you should charge for your this is how you should charge for your services. Okay. Let's find out where I was again. Okay, $1.99, and now we're going to do for this list. This is the same. The button we're going to change to button outline warning just to make it stand out. There we go. That looks good. And the header, let's actually go up to the header, and we're going to do BG-dark. And then text-white, and that will allow that one to stand out a little bit more. Now, what I want to do actually is I want to, I want this to be a little bit higher than the usual than the other two. So I think I'll do that by, let me just play around with some margin here. So what if I did margin 3, M2? So actually, it kind of looks a little weird. You can see it made it bigger, but the alignment is all off on the top and bottom, so I don't actually like that. So what if I did MT, I think 4, no, MT3, MT2, okay, and then MB4, okay. So you can see now it's lifted up a little bit. So margin top is only the second level 2. So it's a little bit higher than these two, so it stands out. But I don't like the alignment of the button. So I think what I can do there for this is the UL class. I have margin bottom 4. Let's do margin bottom 5. Okay, it kind of. I mean, it pushed it down, but you can still see it's not quite aligned the way I want it. So I'm just going to play around with this a little bit. MT3, MT5. This is where, you know, I would normally just go into CSS and just do this myself, but I'm just trying to stick within the constraints of what Bootstrap 4 is offering to me straight out of the box. So let's say margin top 3. No, I don't like that. You know what? Let's just do this. It's okay that that's a bit lower. I want it to stand out a little bit more anyway. So it's okay if it's just a bit lower. I just want the middle one to stand out over the other two. Okay, so that's it for the second one. Now the third product or package here, we're going to call this one, actually let's change the CTA text to I want it. There we go. And okay, now the third one, we're going to say this one's going to be called Facelift. This is our premium package, priced at a whopping $329, where you'll get our Make It Pop feature. You get a 4 times bigger logo. You get unlimited revisions and priority support. This web design company is going to go out of business so fast. Okay, and the call to action text is going to be, oh my god, yes. Okay. And really, okay, that's it for the packages. So far, look at this. This looks really, really nice. And it's responsive. You can see that. Everything's kind of tightening up. So if I were to make this smaller, it should go smaller. It looks nice. It'll look good on your tablet. It looks a little sloppy there on your phone, but you could use classes to rejig your media queries so that this breaks at certain points. Again, because these are using flexbox, you can easily just go to the documentation here, and you can go to documentation, and then let's see, flexbox. You can go to the layout. You could see flexbox utilities here. So if you wanted to do like these different types of flex items, flex columns, all the flexibility, you can justify content, align items. You could do a ton of stuff here, as you can see, all with Flexbox and the utility classes that they offer. So I'd check that out, because you can. That's actually maybe my challenge for you is to make this work a little bit better. And feel free to share it with us. Okay, and then it breaks here, and that looks good. So you can see even on mobile devices, the Prettify version stands out a bit more over these two. Okay, now one last thing. We're just going to add just a couple more things at the bottom here. Let's add a footer to make it a complete website, web page. We're going to add a footer. In the footer, we're going to have some traditional, oh my gosh, Bootstrap divs. This is going to have a class of row. In here, we're going to have a div with the class of column. You know what? I'm not going to do any columns yet because some of those things have changed. And I'll show you that in a moment. So we're going to have that column there. We're going to have another column beside it. So another div there, and another div, and then one last div. I'll explain what's going on here in a sec. Okay, I think I've got all the divs. So I've got footer with a row div, and then we've got a div here, boom, which is going to be a column, a column, a column, and a column. Okay, so how this works is this is div with the class of row. And let's see, row is good. This is going to be class of call-12. And you can then say call-medium. So how this works is basically how you would do this before in Bootstrap 4 Alpha is call-medium-12. But now effectively you don't have to do that. You could just say call-12 and then be more specific over here, call-medium. And if you want to read how that works, again, go to the layout in the documentation, and you can see how the columns work. So you can see here, call small, call small, call small. It will automatically go into 3 columns, but then you could be more specific to apply breakpoints, like the number of columns you want. Okay, so we've got the call 12, so 12 columns, and it's going to be call medium in terms of sizing and breakpoints. Okay, and then now, okay, the footer, we're actually going to add a class. We're going to say class my for margin top and bottom, md for breakpoint of medium-sized screens, and then 5, just to give quite a bit of margin on the top and bottom. So the footer has a lot of breathing room. pt for padding top, md5, which means on medium-sized screen, padding top. It's going to be the 5th level. We're going to do border top. So I'm just going to throw a border right on the top there, which is nice. And let me just make sure. This footer actually, I noticed because of that line, it's stretching across the full width. Put the footer inside that div that's just above it. That is the container div. It needs to be within that container div. So right there, the underlined one. So we need to put that footer right there. Okay. So that is much better. You can see the line is within the constraints of the container. So now the row and the column will work properly. Okay. Now let's go into this first column, and we're just going to add a small tag. And that small tag is just going to say like copyright 2018. And what's interesting about you could do some styling here. So class. The small tag is naturally an inline element, so you can go D for display and then block. So display block. You can also do like inline, but we're just going to do D block. Like you can do deflex, D block for display block. Margin bottom, so MB 3rd level, which is the base font size or rem size, and then text muted. And so now it's just going to be a little bit of like a small element there. Looks nice and tidy. Okay, and next one we're going to do a class with the call 6. So the break is going to be 6 columns in this space. Call medium. I'll show you how this works here in a moment. I'll give you a visual with the browser. This is going to have a level 5 heading, and we're going to say extra items. We're going to have a UL with some list items. Like so, the level, the UL is going to have a class of list unstyled, and the text is going to be small. Within here, we're going to have an A tag. Come on now. Just like so. I was hoping my autocomplete would work better. It didn't. Okay, so in the A tag, we're just going to say class text muted, and I'm just going to say like bonus. And the second one is going to be features. And the third one is going to be secret news. Again, this is nonsense. You could stop here if you want. I'm just showing you some extra stuff here. In terms of the classes, utility classes, and just making a complete layout. Okay, so that's that. We're going to do another one of these. Actually, let's make this call. Let's do call 4, and I'm gonna play around with this and show you in the browser in a moment. I'm gonna copy that, and I'm actually gonna replace these two. I'm gonna copy it and paste it, and then paste it again. So now you can see over here we've got 3 levels, 3 columns here of items, and we can just leave that like so. Okay. Now I'm just going to show you really quickly, because that's really it for the markup. And now I'm just going to show you how those columns work. So if I were to change this to column 6, all of these to column 6, so call-6, let's see what happens in here. Nothing seems to happen there, but if I were to go to the medium breakpoint, because we have the call-medium afterwards, what's going to happen is that this size, right here, call 6, it's within a column 12. Is it? No, it's not. Column 6, because it's out of 12, typically, Bootstrap is based on a 12 column grid. That means half the width, but only on a column medium screen. So this is what's really cool. So let me make this a bit smaller over here. There we go. So we got a 6 column here. Let me use this. 6 column here, and a 6 column here, and a 6 column here. Now, if I were to change this to call-4, call-4 and call-4, watch what happens over here. Now we got 4, 8, 12. So it's all 4s, which equate to or equal 12. So 4, 8, 12. So that's how that works. Because Bootstrap is built with flexbox, it already knows to put these side by side. So if I were just to take the call out altogether, let's just see what Bootstrap does by default. And just have call medium. So it stacks them there, but I'm thinking, there we go. If on normal size screens, on medium and up, it's going to automatically line up properly without you having to do anything. I mean, if you took call out, it probably wouldn't stack properly or line up properly. Okay, so it actually does. They're side by side, but it doesn't know to make them a column. So if we put those back, call medium, maybe if we did, what if we did call small? Let's find out what happens together. It probably means it will stay in a column until small screen size. So you can see here, it could benefit from a medium screen break. So it will on the small, it will stack. So this simply means stay within a column until the large screen size, the medium screen size, the small screen size. There's probably an XS as well, I believe. So we're going to do call medium, call medium, call medium. And I want to go with the default, or not the default, but call-4. I want call-4 is what I want. Call-4, call-4. So if I save that and check it out. Oh, no, sorry. This was a call 6. No, it was a call 12, sorry. The first one with the small tag was a call 12, and then call 4, call 4, call 4. So now it looks like this. Perfect. And then up here, it will stack properly, and it will go the way we want it to go. Oh my gosh, that's so nice. Check it out. So whether or not you were coding along, or you were just following along and you're going to check it out after, you're more than welcome to do that. I'll provide a link here. Afterwards, I'll save this up, put it in a Dropbox link or a little landing page where you could download the code. I'll make that available to you so you can follow along as well. But that's essentially, like I said, this was based off of, if we go here to the example, here's their pricing example Bootstrap came up with. Here's the one that we put up, did together. Like that. I like ours better, preferably. But again, it's Bootstrap. You can do whatever you want with the styles and with the classes, and you have ultimate flexibility right out of the box without even having to do much CSS customization. So if you are a developer and you don't really have a very good like a good eye for design, that's why Bootstrap is really, that's one of the reasons Bootstrap is really great, because you can code up some really nice prototypes for clients or for your boss or for your own freelancing efforts. You can come up with some stuff really nicely without having to utilize the expertise of a designer. And if you're a designer, the other benefit is that you don't have to know much code. You don't have to learn too much CSS. Now, I do encourage that to learn CSS and HTML to their maximum extent, but you just read the documentation, follow the instructions, and add some classes, and you've got a pretty dang beautiful prototype or a website or a mock-up. And it's ultimately customizable. Add in a CSS sheet in there and a style sheet, and you can customize anything and make it not even remotely look like a Bootstrap site. This looks like a Bootstrap site. It's a very pretty Bootstrap site, but if you want to customize things, you have that capability. So that's it. That's it for this little workshop, coding up our pricing packages, our pricing page using Bootstrap 4, the latest stable release. I believe we're using 4.1.1. Thanks for spending some time with me today, and I hope you enjoyed. All right. Cool. Who was having a great time following along? I was having a fun time watching those comments and participating while we were building that site. So it's Q&A time. I want to address some questions. I see you guys have been putting questions in the questions tab there, and I'm really happy to address some things, have a discussion here. This is live, so whatever questions you throw up in there, I'll try my best to get to all of them. especially the ones that are going to be helpful to everybody. There's a lot of really cool questions coming about regarding Flexbox and CSS Grid versus Bootstrap. So if you have questions at all, particularly, if they're particularly coding questions where I can't verbally tell you the code, it might not be the best place to ask those questions. But if you have questions about, why would you use this versus this, or how could I do this to complete X, or maybe some resources or tools or software or suggestions, or if you have any questions about getting clients, or anything like that, just throw them at me. I'm an open book here, and I'm excited to answer some questions. And to answer a common question right now, will there be a replay? Absolutely, there's going to be a replay. If you're watching this, particularly on Crowdcast, you're going to get an email directly from me, Brad at codecollege.ca. You're going to get an email from me, and it's going to have the replay, and you're going to, right on the page you're watching it, you can watch it again once we end the live broadcast. Also, if you're following along, you're going to get those course files and stuff. Those links should be working. The one right here on the screen. Again, you guys are breaking my site, so sometimes that takes a little bit to get to open up those course files. Okay, so I see some questions here. I want to address some. Some of them are really exciting. Let me see here. And this is great, by the way. People are asking questions, and you guys are answering them too. So that's a really neat thing. It's great to see this community kind of coming together. Mike asks a question. Hey, Brad. He says, hey, Brad. teach J. Okay. I'm just quite literally reading your quick typing. So he's probably asking, hey, Brad, do you teach JavaScript? And if yes, where can I learn JavaScript? If not, why don't you teach JavaScript? That's more or less what he was asking. I do have a JavaScript section. I have a really nice meaty JavaScript section in the Ultimate Web Designer and Developer course in the Code College membership, which you can access right here for free. If you go to codecollege.ca, in the Ultimate Developer and Designer course, there's a nice meaty section on JavaScript and jQuery and jQuery UI. We also have some jQuery quick bite-sized tutorials in the Code College membership as well. So JavaScript is really fun and exciting, and you can learn it there at Code College. Let me see here. Oh, I love this one. Rob, and I want you guys to chime in on this one. I'm really interested. Rob says, a web designer as opposed to a web developer. A developer makes things to be designed. Is that correct, or do I have it wrong? So Rob is trying to differentiate between what is a web designer and what is a web developer. And I think it is a notoriously confusing title. I actually hate it because it bugs me, because it bugs me as a designer and a developer myself, and it also bugs me as a business owner of Code College and as a tutorial online educator. I don't really know how to address people, because a web designer, you would imagine, is somebody who creates the look and the feel, who designs in Photoshop, on notepads, in Sketch, and they design the look and feel so that the web developer can code it up. Now, in the industry, we've come up with the term called front-end developer, which bridges the gap between a designer and a developer. The complicated part is that web designers, a lot of them can code, so technically they're front-end developers, so technically they're web developers. But web developers also have this claim to, well, I'm a web developer, so I can also program. I do back-end stuff. I do database design, MySQL, MongoDB. I do Node.js. I do Angular. I do all this stuff. So you're like, okay, no, you're a heavy-hitting web developer. So technically, are you a back-end developer? Well, maybe you're a front-end developer. So then who's the web designer? It's this weird, like, Venn diagram of who is who and what is what. So for me, I usually just say web designer and developer. For Code College, I like to address people as web designers and developers. But ideally for me, I just like to address people as web designers. But here's the thing. Right in the poll that I asked you, this is why I'm curious, I asked, what is your craft? So what are you identifying as when you're trying to improve yourself and your skills? 67% of you say web developer. So the entrepreneur in me, the online educator in me, it tells me I should address you as web developers. So I'm gonna maybe lay it out here and say web developers, that's a catch-all term for somebody who designs, develops, and launches websites. Now, in that, you can be a front-end developer, back-end developer, programmer. There's lots of stuff you can be doing in there. There are people who just like Python. There are people who like doing Angular stuff, building, single-page web apps to front-end development design, to just CSS stuff, to WordPress. So there's a lot in there. And I'm on a constant mission to try and figure out what resonates most with people. But I'm thinking, that's the term I like using, web developer, at least what you're telling me, you're web developers, but there's a lot under there. Armand actually says, I often use web designer/developer when I'm talking about marketing and website design. For me, as a web developer, is someone who mainly develops web apps. Of course, that opens up another can of worms on the difference between websites and web applications. There are, however, also people who just design websites in Photoshop and other tools, which probably identify more like a web designer. So again, this is where it gets confusing, because when I say I teach web developers, I'm not teaching a segment of that discipline, of that craft. But when I say I teach web designers, there's a lot of web developers who go, I don't want to do Photoshop. I'm not a designer. Like, well, so thus my confusion. So interesting topic. I don't think we landed on a distinct term, but I think web developer is a catch-all, very, very broad term. And that's kind of what I think. Yeah, there it is, Rob. Okay, another question. Let me see. Aaron asks, is there an easy way to modify the CSS in Bootstrap? Luckily, there's a lot of answers right there in the questions and answers tab. You can modify the CSS super easy. A lot of people have problems with Bootstrap because they're like, oh, if I'm building in Bootstrap, everything's going to look the same. My Bootstrap site's going to look like everyone's Bootstrap site. Nope, you're wrong. Couldn't be more wrong, because you can leave it as is. That's what's great. You can prototype quickly. That's nice. But the nice thing about Bootstrap is that it's just CSS and HTML and JavaScript. So open up a new CSS file and reference it in your head your HTML document, reference it in the head, link it up to your new CSS file, call it app.css or custom.css or mystyles.css, whatever the heck you want, and override the original Bootstrap styles and make it look however the heck you want. So that's what's great. A big misconception. People say, Bootstrap, I don't like my Bootstrap because it makes everything look the same. And I go, well, clearly you don't understand that you can do anything you want in CSS, which is a big reason why I have codecollege.ca, teaching you CSS, CSS3, the CSS3 in 30 days challenge, a lot of front-end stuff, a lot of design stuff, and I'm eliminating a lot of confusion when it comes to building custom websites. So, Aaron, I hope that helps. Let me see. Yanni has a similar question. These days, I think designer and developer get intermingled. I think we kind of touched on that topic, so we addressed that one. Let's see. There's more cool questions here. And yeah, so people who are asking, will I get access to the video to this session afterwards? Yes, there'll be a replay. If you're on Crowdcast, you're going to get an email, and whatever page you're watching, you're going to see the replay right in front of you, right there, on the same page you're looking at. Nick says, can you recommend any resources for putting together job proposals and client leads? Absolutely. Tools like Hello Bonsai and Dubsado are really great tools. Specifically, Dubsado has really kind of taken the freelancing world by storm. People really love it as an all-in-one sort of client relationship manager, invoicing, proposals, contracts, accepting payments. It's a really nice tool. As for resources and how to do client proposals and win clients and get clients, I would be remiss if I didn't plug my own material. I have an entire business dedicated to teaching freelancers how to do exactly that. Freelancingfreedom.com. We have a free workshop which will get you started. So check it out there if you're interested. Let's see. We got some more cool questions. I'm going to check out the chat here, the chat. People are saying web designers are graphic designers and developers are coders. I disagree. Web designers, because graphic designers, like if you look at a pure graphic designer and they're like a purist graphic designer, they will go, I am not a web designer. I'm a graphic designer. I design graphics. Could be for the web, but also could be for print or books or, whatever. Promotional materials, online, offline. Web designers, so interesting argument. This might be an interesting thing to get into at some point. So yeah, let's see. Let me see some more questions here. Nick, full stack developer would be more appropriate title if you're designing front end and developing on the back end. Yeah, okay, cool. This is what I mean. There's so many terms out there that you could say I'm a web developer, I'm a full stack developer, I'm a front end developer, I'm a back end developer, I'm a Node developer, I'm a Python developer, I'm a hacker, I'm a programmer, I'm a software engineer, I'm an engineer, I'm a web engineer, I'm a designer, I'm a design engineer. You know what I mean? There's so many, you could call yourself whatever the frick you want. But here's the thing, the title doesn't matter. It's the skill and the value that you bring to the market and to your clients and to your workplace. That's what matters. The title doesn't matter. I don't even know what my title is. Online development designer instructor coding funny Canadian guy. I don't know. I teach people teach designers and developers how to improve their craft so that they can get clients and get better jobs and ultimately live a better life. That's what matters more. Why do I do what I do? So ask yourself that. Are you a web designer, a full stack developer, blah, 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 blah. Why? Ask yourself why. It doesn't matter what the frick is on your business card. I don't even have a business card, by the way. At least it's old. It doesn't matter what's on your business card and what's on your LinkedIn profile. For frick's sakes, it doesn't matter, because what matters is the value you bring. So in the problem with developers and designers, P.S. I'm on a tangent, by the way, so hang in with me here. The developers, this is where I have a problem with developers. And I could say this because I'm a developer myself. They get too caught up in the details. They say, okay, well, what should I have in my mean stack? What language should I learn? What framework should I learn? What should I put on my LinkedIn? What are the new techniques and all these sorts of things that I should be learning? Like, okay, stop. Everybody stop. Why are you learning that? They say, should I learn Node.js, Brad? Brad, should I learn Node.js? I get emails and emails and emails. Should I learn Node.js? Should I learn Mongo? Should I learn Angular? What are your thoughts on the best mean stack? Hold up. Why do you want to learn that stuff? Is it for fun? Is it to get a job? Is it because your employer is like, yo, Nick, you suck and need to be better, so learn Node. I'll give you more money. Or are you just nervous because everybody is learning it and it's a really hot topic, a flavor of the week, a coding language of the week, and you just feel like you have to keep up? But are you doing something about it? Are you getting a better job? Are you getting a raise? Or more importantly, are you serving your clients with it? Because I could tell you right now, your clients do not care if you know 100 languages. What your clients care about is if you could solve their problem and you just happen to use Python, great. If you just happen to use Node, great. If you just happen to use HTML and CSS, great. If you happen to use Bootstrap and WordPress, my preferred tools of choice, great. Are you solving problems? Are you adding value? That's what matters. The title does not matter. Are we vibing here? Is this making sense? Am I scaring you a little bit? Cool. Sweet. Awesome. Oh, I love it. Okay. Can I take a couple minutes to give you guys a little background, a little bit of behind the scenes here on this Code College? Because if I have your attention and we've been hanging out, I'm hoping that this has been valuable to you, that we've been answering some cool questions. I want to give you a little bit of a background on this right here. Just a quick screen share. Is that cool? Nice. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. Let me just flip my screen here. Okay. This is codecollege.ca. This is my website. And we just relaunched with a brand new website, a new style. I coded up this website, by the way. I could have hired somebody to do it, but I love coding and design so much that I wanted to just do it myself. So I designed and coded this myself because I'm a web designer and web developer and full stack developer and back end developer and front end developer and whatever you want to call me. I am a guy who's passionate about teaching people how to code and design. So I made Code College. We all know Code College. A lot of us here know Code College. Some of you are even members. Great. Thank you. You're the best. We redesigned and relaunched. So this is the new website, and we have a new promotion right now where you get your first month membership free. Now I want to let you know a couple interesting things about this. When you join up for free, when you click this button here, you get a full 30 days from whenever you sign up, and you can access everything that's in the membership. Now I'm going to show you what's in the membership. So I have a fun little video here. Feel free to go over there. It's only 3.5 minutes long. It's a fun little video that it tells you all about it. But since we're here, I want to show you, we have over 15,000 students at Code College who are learning everything from free stuff to paid stuff to attending workshops to coming to these live events. We have over 81 hours of video, and in fact, that's growing after this. That's going to be 83 because all of these sessions are added to the membership and more. We have 19 plus courses and tutorials. In fact, it's 20 plus now, so that number will always be updated. What's great about the membership? We have a community. So yes, you get access to all of my courses as soon as you join up. Within 30 seconds from clicking that link below or going to codecollege.ca, you will be able to access all of my courses, unrestricted, totally free. And you can learn whatever you want in terms of what I teach, from design to design principles, all the way to MySQL and PHP and WordPress, Bootstrap, and everything in between. We have a supportive community. You get access to a private Slack workspace. And I want to show you that in a minute, actually. It's really cool. And people are in there helping each other, sharing code, and it's a really nice community just for the members. So members only. Let me see. Here are the courses that we currently have in the library. We have everything from the CSS3 in 30 days challenge. So that's a massive, awesome challenge. My ultimate web developer course, that's a #1 bestseller on the internet with Udemy and YouTube and all the places. Well, it's not on YouTube because it's a paid course. But you get access to that. It's my biggest, most popular course. You learn everything. If I plucked you off the street and you knew nothing, that course will turn you into a web designer, developer, where you can get a job and get your first client. Boom. Just like that. SaaS course, I love this one. It's my favorite. It's so silly and it's a lot of fun. Bootstrap to WordPress, Bootstrap Quick Start, Practical PHP, crafting the perfect portfolio if you want to know how to attract better clients and better jobs, HTML and CSS, a little fun bite-sized tutorial where you code up a little welcome mat, domains and hosting, everything involved in that, jQuery. We got WordPress for designers, so WordPress.org. So if you're a designer and you don't want to touch a lick of code, it's right there. Bootstrap Basics, PSD to HTML. We got some older stuff here, but it's still valuable. We got AngularJS. We got WordPress plugin stuff, which is exciting. Web Wednesdays. So this live stream will be added there, and those replays are there for you to watch anytime. And web design and developer job boards. This I got to show you. Can I show you? Let me see if I can get in there. Actually, I'm going to share something else with you. I'm going to share with you the job listings. So, okay, sorry, I just get so excited about this. Before we get to that, I want to show you more. This is what you get in the membership. You get unlimited access to all the courses. You get the members only community. You get a personal welcome video. So I get a notification. In fact, there's like a handful of them right now. Notifications right there. Boom. And I'm going to send you a personal welcome video. Monthly live workshops. So we do private Q&As and workshops, office hours, that sort of stuff. So live stuff that's available just to members. Priority email support. So you'll get live chat and email support priority. We'll know you're a member. So any questions you have, throw them our way. We'll help you out. Private access to a library of code snippets. This is growing and it's a new feature, but we're going to be collecting and gathering and creating a library of code snippets for the Code College members. So if you need like a quick JavaScript thing or a Bootstrap thing or a header or a nav or a sticky footer or, you know, a little animation, you can code it up yourself, submit it, or you can see if somebody else has done it, collaborate on it, and it's there to help you so that, you know, if you need something right now and it's not in a specific course, it could be in the library or you can add it to the library. So it's a living and breathing feature. And the VIP job board. This for me, I'm just really excited about. So I want to show you the job board right here. So I'm going to pull up the Slack workspace and I'm going to show you what the Slack workspace looks like. and what's involved in the job board. So this is cool. So I'm going to change my screen to Slack. Here we are. So we got the Code College membership right here. This is what you get access to when you join up in the membership. So you can have access to this right away. So if you're wondering, where do I get jobs? Let me show you. In this little channel right here, jobs, every day, a list this large gets posted. So today I just posted this. A user experience designer. We got a developer, Germany, a remote job, a lead UX UI designer. We got a test engineer, so remote work. Senior software engineer, Python, Java, or Go. Product designers, graphic designers, full-time developers. We got UI designers. We've got everything from graphic designers here to product designers, UI designers. Look at this list. It's insane. Every single day, I post a list that large with new jobs. So if you are looking for jobs, they're right there. A lot of it's remote work. Some of it's in person, but a lot of it's remote, freelance, contract, moonlight, and I'm pulling jobs from all of the best sources across the internet, built a little script, and it's pulling it in right there. So every day you get jobs and leads that you can apply to. So no excuses. So anyone who is complaining and wondering how they get jobs, stop complaining, join up in Code College. I'll teach you how to improve your craft, and I'll give you a little bit more confidence. I'll give you a community that holds you accountable, and then I'll give you a list of daily freaking jobs that you can apply to. I don't want to hear any complaining or whining. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to get clients. I don't know how to get jobs. Shut up. Just try it out. Okay. I get passionate about this, and I don't mean to offend anyone, but my point is I do this because I want to help you. And I don't know how much easier I can make it for you. Codecollege.ca, you get access to all this within 30 freaking seconds. Yes, you get all the coding courses. That grows. That material is an everlasting library of labyrinth of learning material. But you get the live workshops, you get the community, you get the job board every single day. You get people in the community needing help. You get people looking for a designer, looking for a developer. You collaborate. You can start your own company. You could do whatever you want. And you have people in here introducing yourself. So we've got Martin. Hey, Martin, what's up? Monique, Ronnie, James, Mara. We got Alea. We've got Jim, Amy, Rick. You introduce yourself. If you have questions, boom, ask questions right here. We'll help you out. There it is. Resources. Throw up your resources in there. If you have some really sweet coding or development or freelancing resources. Any website bugs, throw them in there. Website feedback, throw them in there. Wins, if you got a client, scored something big, boom, throw it in there. Anything specifically to the courses. So if you have a Bootstrap question, HTML question, PHP, SAS, so on and so forth, share it in there. We're there to help. And bam, look, access to me. You can send me a message. Hey, Brad, what up? And I'll go, yo, what up? If I'm not busy. So you get direct access to me, Alea, and everybody in the group. Whoa! Holy moly, guys. So that's Code College. So I'm going to switch back to the screen here. All you got to do is go to codecollege.ca, click on get your first month free. You get your first month free. After that, it's $34 each month. You can cancel anytime. You even get a little bonus as soon as you sign up for your first month. I'll give you a one-time little incentive to join and switch to a year. Instead of monthly billing, you can switch to yearly billing, save a crap ton on your investment, and then you don't even have to worry about monthly bills or anything like that. So get your first month free. Try us out. I'm really excited to offer it for you. And that's what I got to say about Code College. So folks, I really appreciate your time. I'm starting to get super tired here. That's a lot of talking, a lot of teaching. So for all of you who've been here, I really appreciate your time. You're awesome. Thank you for coming and coding and improving yourself, improving your situation. That's why I created this. I'm so excited that you've been here. I really appreciate you. And if you want to take this relationship further, if you want to go to second base, maybe not. That's weird. Don't. If you want to just take this relationship further, and if you want to improve your craft, if you want to go the distance together, and you want me to help you out, I've put together an amazing community of people just like you, designers, developers, and everything in between, the whole spectrum. And we're here to help. We're here to get you jobs. We're here to get you clients. We're here to improve your craft. So if you're just starting out and you don't know where to start, bam, Code College is the place to go. If you're a developer and you're looking at getting better at your design skills, bam, Code College is the place to go. And if you're somewhere in the middle and you need help, you need accountability, and you need that extra kick straight in the ass, pardon my France, codecollege.ca. So, folks, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Christina, Alea, Armand, Rob, Nick, Harold, Git. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Crowdcast. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate you. I hope to see you over at Code College. Otherwise, your replay will be available very soon. Everybody, have an amazing day, and I'll catch you soon.